social media. Okay, this is something that people really resist using. I think it's usually a fear of others will judge me. Do I know enough to say this? I'm not smart enough. What is the wisest thing that I could say on social media? But I don't think that that is important. What is important is that you identify the space that I'm going to talk about, and then you start writing in an educative way. If you're a lawyer, do not exclusively focus on legal developments. No, focus on industry trends. What is new in the industry? What are the new players doing? If you write on venture capital, you can write on how funding in edtech increased. You can also write on what is happening in the Silicon Valley. You can write on how transactions are increasingly being done online. Okay, and they are using digital signing tools. You can write a comparison of different digital signature tools and their evidentiary value. A lot of things can be done like that, but you want to keep writing on that, and you can write articles as well and posts. Individual posts are extremely important. You must also comment on other people's posts. So if somebody else has written something useful, you may want to comment and interact with them. You may want to share it on your wall or tag them, okay, so that they can connect with your idea and they can identify that you read their post. That will help you in building a network. Now, how do you start? So the important thing here is to get started, and later on you will figure out how to keep it running. Start with creation of your LinkedIn profile. It must be an all-star profile. Okay, those who have worked with you, you may have worked with people in the past on different aspects, even if you've not provided a legal service. Ask people you've worked with to give you recommendations on your LinkedIn profile. Okay, create a YouTube account, and I'm assuming that you already have an Instagram, Facebook, and a Twitter account. If not, you can create that also. Use Canva to design any display pic or cover page that is there. So Facebook and LinkedIn have a background cover page. That design template is already there in Canva, and you can write something there. Okay, now you must figure out what kind of content can you post every day. You have to post thrice. Okay, this can include original content or sharing other useful content for your audience. So other useful content means some news article you read in let's say the Wall Street Journal or in the New York Times or in Bloomberg Quint. You can share that. Okay, and share your little perspective on it in 3 lines on how transactions are going to or how work is going to change. Then spend some time adding seniors you want to connect with. There should be people at least 3 to 4 years senior to you professionally, and there should be people who've achieved what you want to achieve. So they are at a level where you want to get to. If you are in law school, make sure that you add at least add people with not just freshers or people with who are freshers in law firms, but people who have 3 to 4 years of law firm experience, so that they can tell you. If you approach them for guidance, they can tell you from something from their law firm experience. If you're adding somebody who's just fresh into a law firm, there will not be a lot of experience that they have to share back in such a short period of law firm experience. Comment on posts written by others in your network to engage with them. Okay, now one of the strategies to use on social media is to repurpose content. What is repurposing? Basically using the same content, taking out excerpts, and then either converting the medium or putting it in a different way on a different channel. So on LinkedIn, you can write posts, but there's a character limit. Okay, so you can write shorter excerpts as a LinkedIn post from your work. Okay, then you can put a short part of it on Twitter and then comment on it to complete the chain. This is something people do on Twitter. On YouTube, you will have to record a video on that, maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and then put in some description. Okay, so that part of the conversation is available on YouTube. For Instagram, you may need to make a presentation and upload it as different carousel images. So one image, then a right slider, another line, then right slider, another line. So there are various people who do this very well. You might want to follow Ray Dalio. He wrote a bestseller called Principles. Gary Vaynerchuk, he is really one of the most popular people on marketing. Grant Cardone on very a real estate entrepreneur, very author of the best-selling book called 10x Rule, and very inspiring for learning sales-related work. Tony Robbins, you may already know about him. He's a self-development, runs a self-development company, and you should see their work. Okay, how they post on Instagram, YouTube, and how they have leveraged similar content on different media so that they're not lagging behind on any one place, because potential clients may be able to find you on any of those media. And of course you should look at where does your target audience hang out more, right? That's going to be important. Okay, so if you're talking to brands and you know that brands have good Twitter and Instagram presence, so you want to be available there. Okay, if you are doing IP related work, for example, there's a, yeah, then you can also follow many lawyers who have an active social media profile like Apar Gupta or Gautam Bhatia. You can follow them on Twitter and you can see how they've been posting content. You must also follow journalists from The Wire, Bloomberg, Quint, First Post, and Quartz. These are some examples of good online digital journals or newspapers, you can, or blogs. Okay, and they have really good content, and getting covered by them is great for establishing your credibility with clients. So they're usually searching on social media for who can give us a good story, who can give us a good perspective. If a young lawyer is willing to help them out with something, they will happily publish a guest post. Like you can see, there are a couple of guest posts I had published. One was on the Infosys whistleblowing issue. Okay, so someone from Twitter, I think, had found me. A journalist from Twitter had found me on Quartz and then reached out to me, and then I explained a few things that I knew, and then they said, "Okay, this is my perspective. Can you help me out with that?" I said yes, and I wrote the article about. Took me a day or two, and then I sent, and they published immediately. Okay, they may even they will give you a backlink to your LinkedIn profile or your website. Okay, and this is another post I had written on First Post. This was in 2015, where it was a big concern that the anti-sexual harassment law will be misused by women against men, and this was an article on how there are ways to prevent misuse and there are safeguards built in. Okay, this was an article on that. What safeguards are there in the law? Now, once these get published, what happens is that you can say on your website that quoted on, and then you can put the logos, First Post, Quartz, each one of the places where you've been regularly contributing.